So my name is Alon, CTO and founder of Gainsight PX. And today we're going to talk about why durable growth companies actually emerge in times of market volatility. Before we just begin, how many of you belong to the product organization, product leaders? All right, how many belong to the marketing? Awesome. Who's founder, CEOs? Great. Awesome. So in this session today, I'm going to talk about these elements. First thing I want to start with is 2 business KPIs that you should learn because this is what investors actually value. One is customer acquisition cost, and one is net revenue retention. The customer acquisition cost is measuring how well are you acquiring customers, and this is steadily going up in the past years because so many emerging companies, new companies coming to the market, and you're competing with them on acquiring new customers. So we're going to learn how can you scale that, how can you become more a growth efficient in that metric. The other one is net revenue retention, is how well you retain your customers and also expanding or selling them as well. How efficient are you? Bad NRR obviously is going to mean that you have a leaky bucket. If you're using the right strategy, your NRR is going to be above 100, ideally 140%, and that means that you're able to retain and expand to your install base. And we're going to touch on that and what can you do to improve that as well. There are a couple of capital efficient strategies today, and technology is helping you to do that, starting from marketing-led. Helps you really increase your brand awareness, optimize your top of funnel, acquiring new leads and qualify them. Then came product-led in the past few years, helping you really increase the customer lifetime value. If you think about it in SaaS, as soon as you convert a user to a paying customer, from this point on, most of their interaction is within your product. And what you want to make sure is you optimize their experience so they can understand and reach the desired outcome. And you can also help them or cross-sell them or upsell them as part of the journey. And we've seen a new strategy with community-led, really helping you build a community around your solution, helping customers help each other. Yet again, another way to scale what you're doing and doing more with less. So in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to just talk to you about a couple of tactics you can leverage and build, and leveraging product-led growth as part of that to optimize your customer acquisition, retention, and expansion. First one is scaling your customer acquisition. One of the easiest way you can do it is offering free trial, but once you do it, you want to basically make sure that you're optimizing that, and we're going to talk about how you can do it. But the essence of a free trial is allowing your customers and users to experience your solution without being bounded to high-touch sales resources. And it doesn't matter if you're selling to enterprise accounts or not, free trial is something that customers value and worthwhile investing in. But once you do it, make sure your product is ready and you have designed a plan for it. A classic user activation strategy should compose from starting from these steps, low friction sign up. We're going to see a couple of examples. Capturing the user objective, usually to reach product market fit, you want to continuously see that you're attracting the right set of users with the right pain points. And then moving towards contextual experience, you can leverage in product messaging to help them find what they want, and using data-driven approach to measure the success of your trial. So it's really important once you go in to have that design in place. First quick example, and what we do as well as Gainsight PX, you treat your sign-up page as a landing page. Even if your product is not ready yet, it's a fantastic way to start, and you're going to start seeing leads coming in. As they sign up, you want to understand their firmographics. You can augment your marketing leads with that type of leads. And what you want to make sure is you're setting their expectation as they sign up. So seeing them the 3 values you're selling, for example, some logos, and so they can actually understand and minimize the form or any type of information you're asking them to give you in terms of form filling. Moving next, very tactical but super important to capture the user objectives and role. This is super simple for your product development to do, but I'm not sure how many of you actually know which persona and what is the pain point that customers, when they sign up, how many of them actually belong to the right persona. And when you're trying to fix or basically build a solution for a pain or a problem, this is a very important data point to have. So it's a simple wizard as they sign up, and you'll be able to build that and track that in your data, and you'll be able to understand if the right persona is actually hitting your trial. Next step is actually building that omni-channel experience. As we are trying solutions, your goal is to keep the user engaged in any way you can. And one of the things you want to make sure is how many of them are going to go into your product, but you need to make sure that you are able to not just message them in product, but also when they leave your product. Because usually trials would go 14 days to 30 days. Classic trial, after 7 days, some user will not come back. The only way to reach out to them is actually doing this omni-channel experience. So what we do at Gainsight as well is tying the organic and paid media, which you're spending today to drive that trial, into that product experience. And from that product experience, you want to have this omni-channel experience for them, and also leveraging community, so you're able to understand what they do, but also nurture them through the trial experience as part of that. So a quick example of what we do, we basically eat our own dog food, so we allow you to scale onboarding, and one of the elements you want to build is those workflows. I've signed up for your solution. Show me what do I need to learn in order to experience value with your solution. So sometimes you want to optimize your UX all the time, but at some point you're going to have a lot of functionality, and you're trying to basically solve a pain point. And especially in B2B, there's going to be a lot of different use cases. So one of the key tactics to do is just to show that workflow experience and just the checklist for them to know what they need to learn in order to experience value with the product, and using, again, in-app and email messaging to nurture them to these goals. One of the things you want to make sure is investing in your roadmap to address the empty state. One of the key challenges with trials, they come in, they click around, they go away, and one of the ways you can solve for the empty state, because your product is kind of empty at the beginning, is to prioritize those type of experiences inside your solution. So it's not going to be a differentiated feature, but these features allow you to help your customers understand and get them up and running in the right path. This is an example from Software AG, potentially complex solution, but once they use this template, you can actually double-click and see the art of the possible. Monday.com is doing an amazing job with the same thing. If you're coming from marketing, you can launch a project from a template with the best practices embedded. Something definitely you want to prioritize from roadmap perspective as you go to trials to address the empty state. And then all goes back to data. So you want to make sure that you're tracking from sign-up paid and organic sign-up to see what works well. Are you tracking are you attracting the right set of users? You want to build your PQL model, the product qualified leads, which basically means that you're tracking the right person in, and they actually touch the right set of functionality that drives value for them, initial value from your product. And you can use user retention and other analytics to make sure that to learn about how many days you have as a time windows to engage with them. So user retention is a day-over-day, a week-over-week measurement to show you how many users sign up and how many of them are actually staying. And then once you have your first trial experience up and running, you're not done. Growth is an iterative process, and you want to make sure that you're going through that motion of trying to optimize your product, trying to optimize the messaging, and trying to make sure that customers are reaching the right behavior. Also using user feedback a lot to learn quickly what's working, what's not, what type of pain point they expected, and how can you deliver better experience. And that's a never-ending cycle. It doesn't matter if you're 1 year into that your startup or 10 years, it's always a continuous loop that you want to build, measure, and iterate to make sure that you reach product market fit and you can maintain product market fit, because things move pretty quickly. Moving to capital efficient retention and expansion, this is where product really plays well, and you want to make sure that you're able to scale, to do more with less. You cannot afford, obviously, having every customer with white glove service. You want to have a mindset that whatever is simple in my product to do should be I can enable my customer to be self-sufficient, and I can design product experiences that lead to successful outcome. In the retention and expansion mindset, what you want to make sure is you're tracking those elements that really drives the outcome from your product, and actually it's the best place to start, because trial experience might help you get to product market fit quickly, but before you actually burn a lot of cash, you want to make sure that you are able to retain customers and they do experience value with your product, and it becoming a critical solution for them as they renew. So as we know, as soon as you cross the $10 million ARR, every point you optimize in retention translates to way more revenue than acquiring new customers. So keep that in mind as you grow. Retention is a critical element. You will not get easy investment if your retention is not good, because you just have a leaky bucket, and nobody wants to see you just burn through cash without reaching product market fit. One of the things you want to do is define the value path. It sounds trivial, but sometimes we're in a file drill every day, and we never sit down and really build that value path, defining what defines outcome to your customers, how do they say that, what is your product going to deliver to help them get there, and then build your roadmap to get there. And make sure that you're also measuring that, because the fact that you build that, maybe you build a great feature 6 months ago, but features has expiry date. Sometimes, early stage customers are figuring out things and are able to cope with, but when you reach the early majority, usability is becoming a thing. So measuring those outcome points, those key features, those sticky features is key, and understanding where should you focus most of your attention. Is it the onboarding? Is it in adoption? Is it in expansion? And one of the ways you can do it, again, with analytics, you can understand where are they getting stuck and how much time do they spend at each stage. Another thing to define and measure is your stickiness. Stickiness should be part of your strategy, because that's what will drive retention and expansion capabilities. Sometimes it's about data enrichment, make data ingest as easy as possible. Obviously, you want to measure the workflows. If it's a SaaS B2B, usually you're building some kind of business workflow. So the amount of active workflow will indicate your stickiness. Collaboration features sometimes looks as a very tactical one, but very, very strategic. You saw Figma. One of the best things they've done is actually collaboration, and they've done it the best. They're able to expand to other personas in those organizations because the collaboration was very, very easy and seamless. Obviously, they've done a lot more, but this is something that in many cases we forget to invest in. An ecosystem clearly helping. Once you have the data and you control the data, you want to make sure that the company has that visibility through the ecosystem. So if sales need to interact with your data, is it in their CRM? If customer success, it should be in their tool as well. So ecosystem investment can really help you that as well. And last but not least, user sentiment. Make sure that the end user is happy, because even if it's top-down decision, end users are what driving the outcome from the company. If they're not happy, they will not be satisfied using your solution, and you'll see that you have challenges in renewing. So focusing on the end user experience and always making sure you keep the pulse on their sentiment should be part of the day-to-day element, and you want to make sure that it's part of your roadmap. When you're planning your roadmap, have a bucket of how many investment do we do to optimize existing features. We should not deliver more features before we actually nail the core functionality. One of the other tactics, once you define those value moments and those key features that you want different personas to hit, you can leverage those in-app experiences, contextual guides. Because again, it doesn't really matter how often you optimize your UX and you try to iterate. Sometimes you just need to teach the right person at the right time how to leverage these advanced settings or your recent release. And doing in-app, we've done a study with Adobe, and we were able to reach 300% uplift versus users that were not seeing any engagement. So if you build that segmentation, remember you capture this user and persona as they sign up, you can now use that for segmentation and teach them what they need to learn. Usually it's the more advanced features that actually drive the stickiness of your solution. So in-app is actually driving them to the aha moment you want them to experience. Another strategic thing to have a discussion about or planning is pricing and packaging. Again, many cases overlooked, but this thing is very hard to change over time. So make sure that when you do design pricing and packaging, you allow it to fuel organic growth. And one of the things you can do is have a blend of usage-based, so as they increase usage, the revenue will go up, and also premium features when they need it the most. It allows you to also even address usability and complexity. If you're building the right set of packages, consumers appreciate to pay for what they really need, and as they need more, you can unlock premium features, and obviously the usage goes up. So it's a blend between different functionalities and usage is the optimal blend in pricing and packaging, and make sure that this is something that you measure and able to also tie to your roadmap, because when you look at your roadmap and you're seeing which type of functionality drives to better revenue, that can help you drive those decisions and prioritization as well, and also help you build an expansion mode. In today's world, it's a land and expand. Let me start quickly with low cost, less of a decision. Should be very, very simple. Once I'm in, you want to shift to stickiness, want to make sure that I'm uploading more data to your solution, I'm able to build more workflow, and then I will expand because I'm going to unlock those other features that you've built for me when I need it the most, and then it's incremental budgets for me, so it's easier decision to drive. So those are strategic elements you want to apply to reach durable growth strategy and can help you build a better retention and expansion motion. And last but not least is basically looking at the data all the time. So 3 or 4 elements you want to make sure all the time that you're prioritizing your roadmap and understanding what to do next is understanding the frequency of usage, is MAU and days, business days active, but also the value drivers. Track those key sticky features you've built that actually drives the outcome, because logins is not going to tell you a lot, but the value driver is going to tell you a story, and then basically survey those features as they use it, so you can understand how was the experience and tap closely to the user feedback as well. So wrapping up, efficient growth is a must-have in the market downturn as today. Product-led strategies will help you get there, spend the time in designing those processes, and obviously focus on retention before you burn through cash for customer acquisition. Retention is meaning that you have hit product market fit. And remember, it's an iterative process, and stay close to your user feedback. I was Alon from Gainsight. We're at G2. Happy to connect with you guys offline. Thanks a lot.